Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steve Kerr honored by Team USA as 5-on-5 Coach of the Year. Hey, our very own head coach Steve Kerr has been announced as the 2024 USA Basketball 5-on-5 Coach of the Year. Per USA Basketball, Kerr, head coach of the USA men's national team since 2022, was named the 2024 USA Basketball Coach of the Year. The 11th-year leader of the Golden State Warriors spearheaded the United States' run to the gold medal at the Olympic Games Paris 2024, marking its 5th consecutive and 17th finish overall atop the global podium. The Americans assembled a 3-0 record in Group C play, posting a plus 64-point differential to earn the number 1 seed in the knockout stage. They ousted Brazil, Serbia, and France en route to the crown, dictating for much of that run but surviving a 95-91 thriller against the Serbians in the semifinals. Kerr's coaching career with the Warriors is a masterclass in sustained excellence, even if the man himself sometimes gets dragged through the mud by fans who think they could do a better job from their couches. Since taking the helm in 2014, Kerr has built a dynasty by winning 4 NBA championships in 6 NBA Finals trip and turning Golden State into the gold standard of modern basketball. His motion-heavy offense and emphasis on ball movement revolutionized the game, leading to some of the most beautiful basketball ever played. Sure, people nitpick his rotations to death, question his loyalty to veterans, and groan when he refuses to spam pick-and-rolls. But let's be real folks, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, he's brought that same championship pedigree to Team USA. But before anyone assumes another Olympic gold is merely a given, history tells a different story. The days of America sleepwalking to gold medals are long gone. Just ask Mike Krzyzewski, who had to regroup after a 2006 FIBA World Cup loss. Or ask Greg Popovich, who suffered an early shock defeat in the Tokyo Olympics before Team USA ultimately claimed gold. International talent has caught up in a lot of ways, and losing has happened to teams that featured names like LeBron James and Tim Duncan before. This is where Kerr's experience sets him apart. Managing egos? He's been doing that since day one. His coaching tree includes Phil Jackson and Popovich, 2 of the greatest at balancing superstar talent with team-first mentality. But Kerr didn't just learn from them, he has lived experience. As a player, he was a 5-time NBA champion, knocking down clutch shots for Michael Jordan's Bulls and the aforementioned Duncan's Spurs. His game-winning 3 in the 1997 Finals is the stuff of legend, and he still holds the all-time record for highest career three-point percentage in NBA history, 45.4%. He was never the biggest star, but he understood exactly what it took to play alongside the best and win at the highest level. That same ability to connect with superstars has been crucial in Golden State, where he's coached legends like Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, and Draymond Green. He has managed all of their personalities and keep the Warriors' dynasty intact despite roster changes, injuries, and outside noise. And now, as Team USA's head coach, he has taken that skill to the international stage, successfully blending elite talent into a cohesive unit against countries that no longer see America as unbeatable. Winning gold is the expectation, but it's far from guaranteed. Kerr got it done, and it's high time these jabronis put some respect on his name. NBA trade rumors: Warriors question if Jimmy Butler fits with team, Knicks open to moving Mitchell Robinson. NBA trade rumors are heating up with the deadline just 1 week away. No big names have been moved yet, but the rumor mill has been flooded with tons of new intel as everyone around the league tries to improve either their short or long-term outlook. Here's the latest trade buzz from Thursday. Warriors unsure of Butler's fit with team. Golden State is currently 1 game over .500 and sits 11th in the West, which is not where you should be when you have Stephen Curry on your team. Golden State has been rumored to be interested in several players like Zach Lavine and Nikola Vucevic, as well as Jimmy Butler. All 3 players certainly would provide a boost for Golden State's offense, but when it comes to Butler, Curry and Warriors coach Steve Kerr are concerned about his fit with the team, per Yahoo Sports' Kevin O'Connor. Butler's been suspended by the Heat 3 times this season now, which has probably been detrimental to his trade value, and likely an example of what the Warriors are concerned about. He's built a reputation as an outspoken player, dating back to his Timberwolves days when he tried to force a trade out of Minnesota. While the Warriors have dealt with different personalities in the locker room, specifically the Draymond Green and the Jordan Poole saga that took place in 2022, that was more of an outlier compared to what their locker room culture has been known for during Curry's time with the team. Adding another fiery personality to the group may not be the best idea at this point in Curry's career. There's also the fact that Butler's $48.7 million contract would cost the Warriors a ton of assets to even get him if that's what they want. It's a risk the Warriors will have to weigh on several fronts. Suns may have found a suitor for Nurkic? Phoenix has long been attached to Jimmy Butler as the trade deadline looms, and while that plan isn't dead yet, it's significantly more difficult to pull off since it all hinges on Bradley Beal waiving his no-trade clause to be dealt to an undetermined third team since the Heat don't want him in return. As the Suns spin their wheels on how to obtain Butler, they're now starting to focus on other ways to improve the roster, and specifically how to get Jusuf Nurkic on a different team. When Beal was benched earlier in January, so was Nurkic in a less talked-about move that saw Mason Plumlee take his starting spot at center. Then the Suns traded for 7-footer Nick Richards, who has started in 4 of his 5 games with Phoenix, pushing Nurkic further down the depth chart. Couple that with what appears to be tension between Nurkic and head coach Mike Budenholzer, as the big man recently said he and the head coach haven't spoken in 2 months, and that they don't have a relationship, and the writing is on the wall that Nurkic's playing days in Phoenix are likely over. The issue, though, is finding a team willing to take on the remaining $37.5 million he's owed between this season and next, a costly price to take on for a center who was just publicly demoted. However, it appears as though the Suns may have found a potential taker, as the Hawks have discussed a potential swap of Nurkic, per the Arizona Republic's Dwayne Rankin. Who would Phoenix want in a possible deal? Signs point to veteran guard Bogdan Bogdanović. Financially, that deal works straight up with no need to add any additional salary, but you have to think the Hawks would ask for some draft compensation to take on Nurkic. The Suns, meanwhile, just turned 1 first-round pick into 3 with a swap with the Jazz. For the Suns, Bogdanović isn't having the best of years, but he's still a career 38% three-point shooter. He's been hampered by a knee injury all season, which has resulted in him playing in just 24 games, but if he can get back to the version of himself that is a consistent three-point threat, it would be a steal for the Suns who need depth around Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Golden State Warriors interested in trade for $215 million star. The Chicago Bulls have been one of the busiest teams ahead of next week's trade deadline, with multiple reports suggesting they are shopping their top stars in the NBA's hot market. Guys like Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic are expected to be shipped ahead of the trade deadline, and one particular suitor has been mentioned for both Bulls stars. The Golden State Warriors have had an underwhelming 2024-25 campaign with a 24-23 record through 47 games, and could certainly be looking to add more talent within the week. There have been more talks around the possibility of Golden State adding another scorer next to superstar Steph Curry, and Lavine could be a prime target. The Athletic's Anthony Slater and Marcus Thompson too have given an update on the Warriors' pursuit of Lavine, but there are some prominent obstacles in the way. After taking conversations with multiple players, it seems Zach LaVine might pique more interest, depending on his cost, Slater and Thompson reported. But there is locker room concern about who the Warriors would send away in a hypothetical trade for a high-salaried player, such as Butler or Lavine. Andrew Wiggins, who has had a productive season well worth his $26.2 million cap figure, is the obvious salary match, with Gary Payton too, $9.1 million, and Kevin Looney, $8 million, profiling as the type of building block expiring salary that trade partners covet, Slater and Thompson continued. Wiggins is a 30-minute per night two-way piece, and all three are central figures to the locker room's culture. Lavine would be a very interesting fit in Golden State, as he continues to prove himself as one of the NBA's premier scorers. The Warriors have certainly struggled at times, so adding a player of Lavine's caliber could be a huge help. Lavine is viewed by some within the organization as the safer option, Slater and Thompson said. At 29, he's 5.5 years younger and some $6 million cheaper than Butler this season, though his contract extends longer and he's had some recent health concerns. There are risks all over the board. But there is some understanding and alignment from all levels of the Warriors organization that they lack a true second scorer next to Curry, and Lavine's explosive three-level scoring ability would fill the roster's largest void, Slater and Thompson continued. He's averaging 24 points per game this season on 51% overall and 44.6% from three. The Warriors and Bulls both likely have busy trade deadlines ahead of them, and a deal between the two teams is getting more likely by the day. And are you a fan? What do you think of Zach LaVine's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.